With the set close to finishing, it's time for that end of season ranked push. If you want to play a strong and uncontested comp, then look no further. Let's break down Mascots Vex. In the early game, you're looking to play 2 mascots with any decent blue buff carry. Lux is my preferred choice because she pairs with Annie for Spellslinger too. Other options include Lucian and Ezreal. At level 5, you can add Pyke or hold him on bench and add another unit of your choice. This board is best played when you can go for an early hot streak and rack up tons of interest to push for a fast level 7. In the mid game, level 7 is where you will spend most of your time. Add in Alistar and Vi for Aegis too, and replace Annie with Jhin. It may take some time to find Jhin since he is a 4 cost, so until then, you will have Oxforce 2 with Annie. Here, you want to slow roll for Vex 3-star. If you're high rolling or get lucky, Alistar and Pyke 3-star are great units. This board isn't very contested right now, but if that's the case in your game, then hit your carry and move on to levels 8 and 9. Your Rift Walker Zac should copy Vex, giving you 5 mascots. Once this happens, you can choose to replace Nasus with an Aegis or Oxforce unit, or you can try to keep him on the board and let him die ASAP for the mascot healing effect. Once you reach later levels, you'll have more flexibility with Zac, which is one of the main strengths of this comp. Once you've hit Vex 3, your main goal is to push for level 9 ASAP. Here you have great flexibility in your comp. Add Leona and Nunu to round out your board. Zac can copy Vex and can replace Vi with Nasus for 6 mascots. If you get a spatula at any point, then you can keep this on the board and make a mascot spat for 6 mascots anyway. If you choose to stay at 4, then Zac can copy Jhin for 3 renegades with Leona. Depending on your extra items, this is huge, because either Nunu or Jhin will be your second carry. We'll cover that more in the item section, but whichever you choose depends on your other factors like items and augments. So let's go over that now. For damage items, you want to go from Lux or other blue buff carries to Vex. For items, blue buff is your main item. You should pair this with Deathcap and Giant Slayer. Archangel Staff is also a workable substitute, and as a last resort, Gunblade can be played, but it's best avoided. For tank items, you can go from Nasus or Annie to Echo. For items, you want Dragon's Claw or Bramble depending on enemy lobbies, combined with Warmogs and Gargoyle Stoneblade. Lastly, Ionic Spark is a key item, which should be held by someone other than Echo, since he needs to be as beefy as possible. For extra items, there's a ton you can use. Redemption is excellent on any second tank along with Ionic Spark. Sunfire Cape is great on Pyke because he dashes to the backline and spreads the anti-heal to most enemies. Now, depending on extra carry items, you can give them to Jhin or Nunu. Any AD items like Deathblade, Infinity Edge, and Last Whisper go to Jhin, and any AP or healing items like Hodge or Deathcap can go to Nunu. Now let's talk about augments. Mascot Crown is perfect for hitting 6 mascots and keeping Aegis on the board. This augment makes your team super tanky. Exiles provides a similar effect. It makes your board very tanky, allowing the shields to give mascot healing effect time to work. Jeweled Lotus pairs really well with Vex. This gives your AP items a huge boost in damage, allowing you to one-shot enemies. And like all blue buff carries, Vex loves Axiom Arc. Anytime she scores a kill, she can chain spells back to back. Golden Ticket is really good to hit multiple 3-stars. If you get this on 3-2, don't just look for Vex, but look for Alistar, Pyke, and others. Makeshift Armor is one of my favorites to play. With mascots and Aegis, your team has natural durability. You can focus on secondary carry items instead. Moving into hero augments, Nunu's choices are S tier. They See Me Rolling is perfect when Nunu is your secondary carry. Contagious Laughter provides excellent scaling damage. Now Vex is the next S tier choice. Endless Darkness can be paired well with Jeweled Gauntlet, and Joy Siphon is relatively weak but useful to hit an early Vex 2-star. Now for our A tier choice, we have Jin's Rule of 4. It can be good to hit an early Jhin 2-star, and the gold is useful to re-roll for other 3-star units. Now for our B tier choices, we have Vi's Boxing Lessons. It can be useful for early frontline strength, giving you extra HP. We have Alistar's Behemoth. It's not the best, but if you have trouble finding something on 3-2, this is playable. And for our last option, we have Malphite's Guardian Spirit. Now this provides some healing, but there's a ton of overlap with the mascot trait. The only real use for this is an early Malphite 2-star. Now for positioning, there isn't much to discuss defensively. 1, always make sure Zac is copying the correct Rift Walker for trait buffs. 2, keep Echo in front of Vex to buy her space for her spells. And 3, keep an eye out for hacker dives and make sure to keep Vex on the opposite side of the hacker. Offensively, there's something important you always want to be doing. First, always have Leona next to or in front of the main tank. You want her to target the main tank first and burn them down ASAP. Second, when it comes to positioning Jhin and Vex, you always want them on the opposite side of the enemy carries, so that their spell can cut across the whole team and hit as many targets as possible. Now you can either keep Jhin and Vex on opposite ends of the board and force enemies to choose who they will get hit by. nearby. Or if you're scouting and hard focusing, you can have them both on the same side, making it twice as effective against the enemy backline. The only issue with this is if you guess wrong, you lose a lot of damage in fights. So the question is, do you want to play it safe or go all in and dominate your opponent? Did this guide help you? Drop a like and comment below how you do with it. Until next time, I'm Swagadelic.